All right. Hey, peace everybody, it's your brother, and this is our next art of sampling tutorial, and we're focusing on assigning samples. Hopefully you've watched my first couple videos where we looked at an ultimate breaks and beats record and we found drum samples. Then we looked at a record from The Emotions where we found the song Walking the Line, and we listened to the song and found several samples. So today we're going to use all the samples that we've collected so far and assign them to the Kong Drum Designer. Alright, so notice I've started a new Reason session, and here's my folder here where I have my samples, The Emotions. It's in another folder that I have called All Samples, and you can take your samples folder, like I said, mine is called All Samples. And this folder is in my documents. You can take the folder and drag it in Reason, and it will keep your folder there at all times. So within All Samples I have a 2020 folder, and then I have a folder for The Emotions, and there's where all my samples are. Alright, so we're gonna use these samples. I'm thinking that maybe the easiest thing we can make a track using these samples on Reason would be to use the Korg Drum Designer. One of the advantages of putting it into a drum designer is that you can assign each of these pads to be one of those samples. So I'm going to take this Kong and I'm going to reset it so that it's empty and I have nothing on it, so it won't play anything for me. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to where my samples are, All Samples, and I'm going to go to The Emotions, and I've got to make sure that I don't know if you noticed that I hit that X button at the top. When you first go to the folder, you need to go, you'll notice that it looks like your folder is empty. So what you're going to need to do is at the top it says Browse Patches for Kong 1. You have to tell it to not look for that, so it clears the browse focus. Once you clear that, you'll see your samples. So that's really important. But here we go. So I'm going to drag that into the first pad. I'm going to drag the second one. I'm going to drag that into the second pad. And then I'm going to drag this one into the third pad. Boom. So now they sound really low, but now we know that we are able to assign our samples to the Kong Drum Designer. Okay, so now I'm going to drag in another Kong Drum Designer, and this is mainly going to be used for my drums. So I'm going to click it again. I'm going to reset the drum device. Okay, and I have a drum folder that I had created from before, and these are the drums that I used for my last tutorial, and I'm going to use this for today's demonstration. Alright, so here are the loops that we sampled last time. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to assign these samples to these pads. So I want the kick I'll put the kick on 1. I'm going to put the snare on 2. I'm going to put the hi-hat loop on 3. I'm going to put the open hi-hat on 4. And we'll put some of these, we'll use some of these loops on like the extra pads that we have up here. Alright. Okay, these drums sound really weak, so go ahead and add a little bit of energy to them. There's a device called the Audiomatic Retro Transformer. It comes with Reason, so I'm going to use that. And I'm going to add some bottom to the drums. Now that we've assigned both the drum sounds and the samples, we can begin to kind of mess around with coming up with a pattern for the Walking the Line sample first. Alright guys, that's it for today. Hope you've learned something about assigning samples to the Kong Designer on Reason. On the next tutorial, I'm going to use my keyboard and we're going to go ahead and arrange those samples into patterns. And that's going to lead to an instrumental. Alright, tune in next time guys. Take care. Peace.